The last time I hunted woodland caribou, it was in northern Saskatchewan when it was still allowed. So I decided I would go on a guided hunt to Newfoundland. I flew from Saskatoon to Toronto, then picked up a flight from Toronto to St. John's. At St. John's, I took a commuter flight, a little two-prop job, a real noisy plane, but exciting. When I arrived at Deer Lake, it was late in the day, so I spent the night there. In the morning, Dean Wheeler, my guide, picked me up, and we went to a strip, and a helicopter was waiting for us. He loaded up all of our gear, the 3 hunters, plus a bunch of food. I noticed a big box of bread was put on the lap of one of the hunters, and we flew off. Down below me there were all kinds of ponds, little waters. Well, they call them ponds there, not sloughs or little lakes, but ponds. The distance was about 100 kilometers and it took about an hour. The scenery was great. We flew around and landed right behind the cabin. There were other hunters waiting and waving. They were ready to go. They were on their way back and we were on our way in. The guides came out to meet us. The cook came out to meet us. Great Newfoundland hospitality. Once I had my gear stowed away and had chosen my bunk, we went out for a little walk to see whether we could spot any caribou in the area. And of course, we didn't at that time. We did see a moose, as I earlier said, crossing the lake, but no caribou. And we went back to camp and got ready for the next day to go across the lake and do some hunting.
Here we are, Frank and Jack, going down Caribou Lake for a ride.
The next day went pretty well. We started with a brief ride by boat to the end of the lake, and then we started to walk, looking for caribou and stalking opportunities. The caribou herd is very low in Newfoundland. They're woodland caribou, and they don't migrate, not like the barren ground caribou you would see in Nunavut or Northwest Territories. So it was a tough hunt, and we didn't see anything for the rest of the day. The next day, we started with another quick boat ride to the end of Caribou Lake to our usual hunting area. We walked and walked, but we did not spot any animals. I was carrying a pack of about 50 pounds, you know, the camera, the tripod, my gear, and my food. And Dean was walking in front of me. And Dean can walk. He walks like a caribou. It was at this time I began to realize that Dean had some very different and unique ways of filming the area. I have lots of pictures of the ground, the sky, and Newfoundland foliage, but not me or any animals. We finally spotted some caribou on a small plateau, quite a distance away. The wind was wrong, but if we circled around, they might see us. So we decided, well, we'd take our chances. It was a really strong wind. And we moved down the gully and across the swamp and made the approach. Looking back. Yeah. Maybe there was a stag harassing her. It was a long shot, but I decided I'd take it anyway. It was about 75 meters. I took the shot and the arrow drifted and I just missed him, just in front of his chest. If it hadn't have been a crosswind like this and I was having a hard time, I put the 8-meter pin on him and put it right in front of his chest. It was a long shot. It was a Hail Mary. After the caribou took off on us, I spoke to Dean and I said, you know, Dean, let's try to get these guys. I don't think they've gone too far. They look like they've stopped about 2 kilometers away inside the heavy timber. So he said, sure, let's do it. So we made a big circle, came in from a different direction. The wind was in our favor, blowing right into our face, and a real strong wind at that. And we moved towards the area we thought they might be in. Then I heard a crack in the woods across the way, and the stag came out.
He's a good stag. He's a double shovel.
Yeah.
He has great big, tall rattle double on each side.
Yeah.
You know? He's a really good stag.
I arranged him again, and he stopped. He looked, and he came across the creek towards the cow. Unfortunately, we didn't get a picture or view of me stalking the caribou, but we did get a picture, although shaky, of the actual shot and the kill. I made a great shot, I might say. I don't want to brag, but the wind was blowing hard and it was 54 meters. The shot went through both lungs and he was done. But he did start to walk up the hill slowly, so I took another arrow out and I shot him again, and I hit him high in the shoulder and he immediately fell.
He could get up, but I don't have any arrows left.
God damn, we shouldn't have shot that last arrow. I turned to Dean and I said, did you get it? He said, yes, I got it all. He says, I've got the shooting, I've got everything. But that was not the
I
case.
thought Brent was stopped.
No, look at that, you know. You just about got it one before. I mean, it's tough.
I had everything.
Yeah, you did.
I had everything. I had 2 strikes. I had you drawing. I didn't
Holy,
get any of that.
isn't that something?
Why would they have red at go and green?
I know, that
Right?
took me a while to figure that out too. Oh, I'm telling you, I am going to be so happy with that. I mean, now, should take some snap cameras of that.
Good.
I'm going to stand behind you. It'll make them look bigger.
He fell right in plain view. There was no tracking, nothing. So we were able to just walk right over to him and start taking pictures and doing the rest of what has to be done when you take down an animal. Dean did a great job of caping and butchering the animal. And after he was finished, I loaded the back straps, the cape, and the antlers in the back of my pack. And Dean took all the rest of the meat in his pack. And I'm telling you, I've never seen anybody that size carry that much weight in my life. Both of us trudged down the creek bed, up to the caribou crossing, up along the trail, and way back down to where the boat was. And the hunt was over.
If you look way down there, right where that hill goes over, that's where I shot my caribou. The first shot was a clean pass through, and then the second shot at 52 meters as he was coming up the hill, I hit him high in the shoulder and dropped him down. Probably the most exciting thing I've ever done, and, well, probably since that buck I shot 2 years ago. But it's been a really, really good time, a really wonderful experience, and I'd like to do it again. I just have to start picking cans or do something to get some more cash, because this was a really good hunt. It was not a bad stag, but if I came back again, I'd be far more patient, and I would wait and hunt harder, and maybe get a bigger and better one. But I'll tell you one thing, you better be prepared to walk if you come here. Oh my goodness. But I guess caribou walk too, so you have to do it.
We gathered later and had a bonfire and reminisced about the day's hunt. It was a great time and lots of fun. The next morning we woke up early, we packed our gear and got ready to leave. Instead of a helicopter this time, Dean brought in a float plane.
Whoa,
And that again was another cool experience. We all got into the plane, couple of the guides, you know, the hunters, myself and the other two fellows, and the pilot, and we took off. I know that when I get back home, I'm going to see the local taxidermist and I'm getting that stag mounted. Every time I look at that mount, I'm going to think about the hunt I had here, the fun I had, and about the tough communication with one of the guides in particular, who happens to be a Newfoundland fisherman too. If you notice in the film, there's a fellow wearing a Molson Canadian cardboard hat. That's John, the guide. The fellow that I couldn't understand for 3 days. And if you can hear him talking in any of the films, you'll know what I was talking about.